Yes, Kenneth, to sing that. Today we're on the sixth commandment, thou shalt not kill. Which you'd think would be pretty simple, but it isn't. Very complicated. And I thought this would be a good song to sing because some of us do not know where we belong. There must be some place where I'll fit in. And then we keep going to place after place after place, and somehow we still feel like we don't fit in. Now, we don't fit in at the grocery store, don't fit in. Some people try to say they don't fit in here, and you really got to work to not fit in here. You got to really tell yourself some story to say you don't fit in here. We don't fit in our home, we don't fit in our work, we don't fit in, and it's just not true. And we start to kill. We go back to old beliefs that I've got to kill something in order to be comfortable. I've got to kill off something or someone, be it you or me, in order to be comfortable. What if life isn't about being comfortable? What if life's about being awake rather than comfort? Nowhere do I see the word comfortable in my Bible. I don't see the word comfortable and discover the power within you. I don't see Emily Cady doesn't talk about comfort. These places talk about knowing. It says you will know the truth and you will be set free. It doesn't say you will be comfortable and you will be set free. It doesn't say you will have an opinion and be set free. It says you will know the truth. So I'm going to read a couple of things to you. Because you need this. We're going to start with Georgiana Tree West, the Prosperity's 10 Commandments. And the sixth commandment, for you shall not kill, is you shall not take your wealth out of circulation. That doesn't mean your cash. Your cash isn't your wealth. My cash isn't my wealth, thank goodness. My mind is my wealth. My knowing of the truth is my wealth. My perception is my wealth. And if I'm seeing poorly, I'm experiencing poorly. And if I'm seeing abundantly, I'm experiencing abundantly. Miss West says that, in case you don't know, Georgiana Tree West pioneered Unity of New York. Way back when. She was the first minister in New York City. But she says here that every commandment that is of God voices an essential truth. This truth is applicable in the life of every member of the human race at all stages of existence. In the sixth commandment, you shall not kill, we again have such an essential truth. It is a grave mistake to limit the meaning of this commandment to the taking of human life. So construed, it ceases to be of further value to those who have evolved to the point where the idea of taking human life is abhorrent. Since a commandment of God never ceases to be an essential truth, to be obeyed constantly by everyone, we must look to the idea incorporated in the word kill for enlightenment. To kill is to destroy. A slanderous word can kill a reputation. And that's why when I first heard started studying these commandments metaphysically, and I thought, okay, I have not taken a human life yet. However, I have been known to character assassinate. Any of you? Any of you in my tribe of killers? And we think it's okay to do that because they won't know. They won't know. They will know. And they probably already know. You know, it is impressive to me how many people think that others don't talk. And you know, the things you people say about me is impressive. At least some of you, because it all comes back to me. And I have to look at that, and I say, am I going to die over what somebody says about me? Well, I choose, if I'm choosing life today, I don't have to take it personally. And so therefore, if, let's say I have done it to another, and I certainly have, if they don't take it personally, then where has the killing gone? Me. While I'm killing someone else's character, I'm killing my own. And And that's the real big drag of that. You think you're getting even with somebody else, and you're taking yourself down. It's like, doggone it, that was not my plan here. My plan was to somehow get comfortable through hate. Better uses of hate. You know, if I could just, enlist your aid in hating someone else, then maybe I'll feel better about these crunchy feelings I have here, these crunchy sensations. And what I find is once I've enlisted your aid, it's really not enough. And so now I need your help. Would you join in this triangle? Could this whole side join me in being mad at this side? And it's still not enough. I'm still the one in hell, quite frankly. I don't have to wait till later to go to hell. I can go there now. So there. You got nothing on me. You're not going to send me there. I can get there on my own, and I do not need anyone else's help. But it's all about what this comes down to. The reason we would kill another, physically or emotionally, is that I don't think I'm loved. No, let me correct that. I think I'm not loved. It's not that I don't, because I always think. There's never a time I don't think anything. I think I'm not loved. Because, it got back to me, this one said this about me, this or it gives that back, and then I start saying stuff, and then other things get said, and suddenly I'm here convinced that I'm not loved. And when that happens, I want to blot out that. And it happens on small levels. It happens on governmental levels. It happens in war. Suddenly I've got to build up weapons, be they physical or emotional. It's a weapon, and it's a weapon of mass destruction. All based in something I read this commandment, thou shalt not kill. Well, you gotta kill sometimes. Do I? Do I have to kill sometimes? Well, if somebody's coming at you, and they're about to hurt you, you gotta kill them, don't you, Shawn? And I don't know. Do I have to? Well, they might take your life. Yes, they might. Does that mean I'm dead? Or does that mean I'm moving on in my journey? If I think this box I'm in is all that I have, then, yeah, I gotta kill. I gotta kill to protect myself. And I can't tell you I wouldn't kill to protect myself. I can't tell you I'm so enlightened that I wouldn't do it. But that doesn't mean I think it's right. And it doesn't mean I didn't wish it were different. But we come here to discuss this stuff, to create questions in our mind. Okay, are there any more ways I would be willing to give up killing? Is there any more avenues today I would put the kibosh on killing than I had before I walked in here today? Are there any, my assassination attempts on others? Are there a few more characters I'd be willing to shut up about? David and I last week, I had to laugh because a few times about this particular being in our life until last Sunday, who we had security removed from the hospital. But we kept saying, we're not going to talk about this anymore. Done. And then somebody would walk in the room and we'd tell the whole story again. The wounds this person must have from the assassination attempts we did, karmically, emotionally, and we were justified. You know why we were justified? Because we said so. That's why. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. Could I bear to close my mouth and chew the insides of my mouth and feel how I feel when I don't do that? Sometimes. And sometimes that thought is as unbearable as not smoking a cigarette if you're a smoker, not eating a piece of candy if you are a sugar addict, not, you know, it's as unbearable as actually passing a Dunkin' Donuts, as actually passing a bar, as actually passing an opportunity for gossip, criticism, and complaining. And so to begin to look at, wait a minute, of course I could do this. Of course I could live for this moment without my weapons of mass destruction that are designed and created to kill. Be it physical, be it mental, be it emotional, be it vocal, be it in perception. If I'm having a thought, I'm in danger. I'm having a thought, I'm not loved. We're clear on that. Let's just understand this psychologically. If I think I'm in danger, if I think I'm under attack, I'm thinking I'm not loved. I could think that with, oh, I don't have enough money, I'm not loved. They looked at me, they said that about me, oh, I'm not loved. And I have to do something rather than be what I am. You know, I'm right there with you all, or not all, you all, with those of you who may be struggling with this issue. Perhaps some of you are not. Perhaps some of you have healed of all of this and have no need. But I'm going to go do Vipassana again this year, and one of the agreements in that 10 days of silence is you won't kill any living thing while you're there. And I said, I have to have an indoor room then. I cannot sleep in a tent and not kill any living thing. I know I will not adhere to that commitment. If I'm in a room and a bug comes out, I am committed. I will get that bug out alive. I'm not setting up camp next to it, but I will get that bug out of there one way or another. I will not kill it because I've agreed, but don't put me outdoors sleeping and think I'm not going to do things. Although it was I think it was the Dalai Lama who was on a talk show, and they said, you don't believe in killing, but what would you do if a mosquito came? And he said, I'd do this, because that's the life of the mosquito. That's the next part of its journey. So I have to look at that. Now listen to this. I had to use my iPod because I couldn't, or iPad, I couldn't find the hard copy of this book. It's Eric Butterworth's book. It used to be called Meta-Morality, and now it's called Breaking the Ten Commandments. They've changed it since he passed. I'm sorry?
No, sorry, it was fine. That's all.
Oh.
The original title, right? Yes.
Well, yeah, the original title was Meta-Morality.
Before that was How to Break the Ten Commandments.
It was?
Back?
Yeah, it's now called Breaking the Ten Commandments. This is Eric compares the Old Testament with the teachings of Jesus in regards to thou shalt not kill. And the first one is, Jesus says, you have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, which is Old Testament commandment. But I say to you, do not resist one who is evil. But if anyone strikes you on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. And that doesn't mean open up to be hit again. What it means is turn so that you may see with the correct eye. If you have been offended, turn so you can see with the other side, you know, the truth side. And then he goes, and the next one is he quotes, Jesus says, you have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father. That's Matthew 5:43-45. To have an enemy is to have enmity. And this is always the focus of the problem. Your feelings of enmity frustrate the flow of love. So, look everywhere in your life, just as I'm going to do. I promise you, I'm going to apply this week as well. Look everywhere in your life where you have an enemy of some sort, where you think someone is against you. Someone or something is against you. And observe if there is a frustration of the flow of love in your life. There are many ways to look at this. You don't have enough money. You don't have enough companionship. You don't have enough joy. If that is the, you know, someone is not, you know, you're not being loved in the way you want to be loved in the world. Look at that and say, is there anywhere where I'm frustrating the flow of love in here? in this life, in this body, your health, whatever. And if there is, get to work on changing that thinking. How could I embrace the one I think is my enemy and bring them into my flow? It doesn't mean I have to hang out with them. It means I have to shift my thoughts about them, that I'm separate from them. I cannot be separate from anyone, but if I'm treating it that way, then all of a sudden the flow of love is frustrated, and I'm killing the flow of love. And I don't want to do that, because choose for joy. What is the choice for joy right now? What is the choice for joy in my thoughts? And Eric tells the story about in ancient Egypt, there was a pharaoh who had this insight into love and non-resistance that was ahead of his time. He doesn't say which pharaoh it was. But he tells the story, it was the time-honored custom of putting to death all captured soldiers. However, he would talk with them, forgive them, and release them. His critics were incensed and on the verge of rebellion, Eric says, and his response was, "What? Do I not destroy my enemies when I love them?" It's a very different way of killing, isn't it? He hasn't killed the being. What he did was eliminate the cause for killing, but he destroyed the enemy. Because the enemy is not the other being. The enemy is my thought about the being. The enemy is always going to be my thought about another. And the friend is always going to be my thought about the other. And when I look in the mirror, I can declare an enemy or I can declare a friend. Because some of us will declare an enemy in the bathroom mirror in the morning as we're brushing our teeth. Hopefully you're brushing your teeth. Well, sanitary is always good too. But you're looking in the mirror. I'm so fat and bald and this. And I don't do that. I'm really impressed. I can look in the mirror and say, my goodness, I'm supposed to think there's something wrong with me because of my weight or because of whatever, but I really have a hard time finding the flaws. It's the truth. I look in there, I don't find a lot of flaws. And I know I'm supposed to, because I grew up hearing that fat was bad, that bald was bad, that whatever is bad, age is bad. But I look at it and think, not so bad looking. Not such a bad guy. So, actually pretty good. I'm adorable. And so, I'd be more comfortable in my clothes if I weighed less. And I guess I'll get there. But I don't think I'll get there through guilt. I don't think I'll get to love myself fully embraced through guilt. In fact, I'm certain I won't get there by thinking I should hate myself. And I'm not going to get to love in the world by thinking I should hate any one of you. And when I say you, I don't mean just in this room. That's not the way I'm going to get there. There meaning here. There is always here. I'm not going to get here through hatred, through thinking I am justified in hating. Now listen to this. Matthew chapter 5 in the Holy Spirit's interpretation. And this part begins with verse 21. The law of men is written to protect men and to teach them to behave. We're clear on that. But a lot of the laws is about behavioral, not about thinking. But the law of the heart is beyond this world. It is like a path that you shall follow to higher ground. Its purpose is not to protect man from man, but to lead a man from his manhood to his true self, which is beyond the self he knows when he limits righteousness to the laws of men. That's why Jesus taught us about spirit rather than letter. Go to the spirit of the law rather than the letter of the law. Organizations thrive when they are run on spirit rather than letter. You can have a manual, you can have a code, you can have all that stuff. And if it's only run to that, There is no room for expansion. There's no room for growth. There is no room for truly true love. And so, there's also no room to find out who your true self is, or your true business is, your true organization is. Everything must be run on spirit. And that doesn't mean there's not agreed upon behaviors, but really I think it all comes down to case by case. And that's what we as the board here are doing. We're looking at things more case by case. FLP program, the field licensing. As far as admissions goes, we're beginning to look at all applicants case by case, rather than you must fit into this category, you must fit into this, your income must be this must be this, you must be this. And we found we were limiting ourselves, and people were going elsewhere, and I don't blame them. But when we started looking, what are your real ministerial qualifications? Okay, your church doesn't pay you quite this much money yet, but do we think there's potential by the end? Okay, maybe we'll waive that. Maybe that amount of money, salary at this time, is a guideline rather than a hard and fast rule. You know, what if on a Sunday the door didn't get open or closed during meditation? And, you know, the day it's left open, somebody accidentally walked up the steps and heard the meditation, and they walked in. You know, the door being closed is a guideline. It's not a hard and fast rule. You know, there's so many things in the world that should not be hard and fast rules, because what they end up doing is making people hate each other. The person who thinks the hard and fast rule must be applied hates the one who forgot or didn't do it or isn't interested in doing it. And the one who just got scolded for not doing it hates the rigid one. We have lost love. That's what we have to start looking at in our lives. Where's my opportunity to love rather than point a finger? It's this way. Well, maybe it isn't. And maybe the one who needs it this way needs to look inside. And maybe the one who's just not paying attention needs to observe, well, I am in a group and we have agreed upon this. You know, and so there's a happy middle. There's a happy coming together. But if I'm based in love rather than self, then I can find my way through. So, the laws of the heart are not about the world. That's what we have to look at there. So I want to go on over here to verse 38. It says, with your eyes of judgment, you see many brothers and sisters doing different things. You judge the things they do as good things or bad things. Based on the judgments you have given to what they do, you judge your brothers and your sisters as good or as bad. In your judgments of them, you separate them from one another and from yourself. And so you see many sons where the Father of heaven sees only one. For the Father of heaven has declared that he has only one Son. And that's not Jesus. I want to be very clear on that. It's not him. There is un Son. All of us. It's all of us. And the Son is but an extension of God. Stop judging your brothers and your sisters as good or bad or different. Ask God within your heart to show himself to you. He will answer you by showing you that your brother's or your sister's heart is the same as yours. And so you and your brother must be the same and therefore one. For only by exceeding the laws of men to follow the law of the heart can you find the truth that lies hidden there. God is spirit, and spirit is all there is. And so you and your brother and your sister must be spirit too. It is your heart that knows this truth. And so it is by following your heart that you will be led to see that truth is true. And so look within, not with guilt, not with remorse, but, oh, I have another opportunity today to see differently if I'm not happy with how I have been seeing. If I'm not free by what I have been seeing. If I am not seeing myself as joy-filled, I have yet another opportunity to shift that view. I have now, right now, oh, I don't have to be sad because I didn't choose it yesterday. I don't have to be sad because I don't even understand it. I have an opportunity to look differently. I have an opportunity to choose. To choose for love, to choose for life, to choose for peace. To choose to love myself today rather than to choose to kill myself today. I can choose to love myself today rather than to kill you, which is the same as killing myself. I have the choice today to choose. I have the choice today to choose. Would you say that with me? I have the choice today to choose. Again. I have the choice today to choose. One more time. I have the choice today to choose.